Another one.
Can I go back to QA from project management? Uh-oh. So I worked as a manual and automation QA for around 4 years. Then I felt like I wanted a career change and decided to do my MBA, a master's degree, master's in business administration, I guess, and transition to technical project management. I now feel like project management is not something I can do and I want to do. So it's not something I can do and that I want to do. I find it incredibly stressful and it is affecting my quality of life. I want to transition back to QA, but I'm worried how I'll explain the career gap of 3 years, MBA and job search included plus 6 months in project management. Anybody has any advice on how to navigate the situation or similar experience? So let's throw up the timer. So I'll tell you this, right? I think I've shared the story many times of this one wasn't necessarily project management, but it was for somebody who did product management. And they got super duper stressed out at their product management role at the company that they were at. And they wanted to, so they ended up actually quitting their company without any fallback, without any plan. They said, you know what, I can't do this anymore. I quit, right? So now, they said, I want to do QA. They just wanted to do QA. They had taken a web development boot camp like a long time ago. And then they couldn't find a job doing QA. They tried to self-study and stuff like that. They couldn't find a job doing QA. And I was working with them, helping them out. And then they had actually ended up getting an offer, not even to do QA, but to do web development, right? They had a connection to do web development. Around the same time, they were also applying for new product management roles. And what happened was they got an offer to do product management, right? So, and it was about $30,000 more, $25,000 more to do than the offer to do web development. But they really wanted to do the web development job. So they said, you know what? I'm going to make the company that offered me the product management role an offer that they must refuse, right? So they went and they said, you know what? I've got another offer for $20,000 over what you guys are offering me, right? Right? They said $20,000 over. Well, guess what happened, right? Guess what happened? The company didn't refuse the offer. They said, all right, well, what about the best I can do is $3,000 less than you're asking for? And they were like, welp, I guess I'm going back to product management. What is the moral of this story? Oh, the moral of the story is definitely that it's going like if you had actually taken a role as product management and for your quality of life, you're going back to QA. Well, it is possible that your financial quality of life might be impacted because I'm pretty sure that product management and project management, they make a good sum of money because it is a very stressful life. So now that you've been exposed, if you have been exposed to the type of money that you'll be making as a project manager, then you might be like, well, the money though. What do you do?
Money.
But here's the other aspect, right? And this is the other aspect of your decision making, right? Because you felt, you know how we say about feelings. You felt that you wanted a career change and you said, I'm just going to decide and do my MBA and maybe spend a little bit of money to get this MBA. And now you don't even want to use it. You're like, I don't feel it anymore. So, as far as explaining the career gap, I mean, it's a pretty simple explanation. I don't think any company is going to fault you for going back to school and getting an MBA that, although it is currently, in your words, it's kind of useless. But going to get your MBA and searching for a job, if you already have prior experience doing a particular role, see, the thing with the career gaps is as long as they can be explained, then it's okay. It's when you don't have a valid explanation for it, you're just like lollygagging around. Let's say you just, I don't feel like working anymore. I'm just gonna quit and play video games. The reason that people care about career gaps is because they're looking for consistency and they want to know the reason. Having a career gap does not mean you cannot get a job. It just means that they just want to know why. What were you doing for your time? So that's why it's not a death sentence. But I think that with you wanting to go back to QA, if you like already had a project management position, and it's just so stressful for you. I mean, at the end of the day, life is stressful, right? So that's the job. Managing customers' expectations, managing the other side to make sure that you're like the liaison, you're like the balancing act to make sure that the customer's needs is being met as well as the production team is moving things along. So and that's why they get paid the big bucks, But as far as your question about the career gap, you have a valid excuse and explanation, so they probably won't really care too much about it. And you've been working for the past 6 months, so they definitely won't care too much about it. Now, they might care of why you want to go back to QA when you've been doing project management, and how do they know that after another 6 to 12 months of doing QA, like, you start having, what do they call it when you start to look back on your ex and you're like, life was better over there, and now you want to go back. And now you want to go back. So, those are the things that you put yourself in. So if you're going to be moving forward, you want to move forward, don't go backwards. Don't take them back. All right.
Do not come.
With that being said, we're going to wrap that question up with a nice little bow on top.
Scrolling through my phone, I can find a spark. Each day feels like a bug in a broken arc. But my lines of code know me better than they do. In love with these scripts, they hold me true. Conversations fizzle, hearts feel like a chore. Bad dates come and go, but the code's always there. Lines of love in the night, pulling me from despair. These fleeting connections can't break through the strain. I'm lost in these programs, I'm coding my pain. Dining on hopes, but the vibe feels so wrong. Wondering if I can fix what's taking too long. But while dinner gets cold, my thoughts start to race. I'd rather be debugging in my own safe space. Is it me or the code that keeps me awake? Bad dates come and go, but the code's always there. Lines of love in the night, pulling me from despair. These fleeting connections can't break through the strain. I'm lost in these programs, I'm coding my pain. Okay. Dining on hopes, but the vibe feels so wrong. Wondering if I can fix what's taking too long. But while dinner gets cold, my thoughts start to race. I'd rather be debugging in my own safe space. Is it me or the code that keeps me awake? Awake. Bad dates come and go, but the code's always there. Lines of love in the night, pulling me from despair. These fleeting connections can't break through the strain. I'm lost in these programs, I'm coding my pain. So I lay down my heart like